Hello, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings everybody. Anyway, this is what I wanted to do this day, which was to introduce all of you people what haven't seen my hamsters to see my hamsters. I'm not going to stick with that accent. That was just one. But first what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you this hamster right here. She's in the bucket right next to me. She's a good little hammatron. She has had babies before. She hasn't had babies in a while. This is Goldie. She had babies 6-7 months ago. Boy, is it a fly. I have not had my hamsters for even a year yet. I have not had my channel here. I've had it since last December, and it must have been March or so when I started getting hamsters. So these guys are only like 6 months old. This is Goldie. Goldie's a good little hammatron. Yay, Goldie. Okay, Goldie. I'm going to show you my other trons now. I'm going to get out a table and stuff so you can see them. Here are 3 of my little boys. No little guy. This little fella here is very nervous, and I'll show you why in just a moment. These are 3 little boys. I keep them in one cage together because number 1, I don't have a ton of cages, and number 2, they growed up together. They're most comfortable together. They don't really have a name. This is just male hamster number 1. See, I'm holding him so that his feet are held up so he's got support. That's male hamster number 1. This one is male hamster number 2. He's a cutie too. My other one's down here crawling around on my keyboard. Now this little fellow, actually, he's an unfortunate guy. When he was really, really young, very young, probably about a month old, one of his brothers or sisters bit him savagely on his testicles. So this testicle right here is swollen to the size of a marble and has been swollen like that for, well, the past 6-7 months since he's grown up. I call him Grape Nut because it's grape sized and, you know, swollen testicle, Grape Nut. So these are my 3 little boys. They're good little guys. And now I'm going to grab some more hamsters for you. His only name is Grape Nut. So we'll see you in just a moment. These 2 little girls, they're not little. They're both. She's a full adult. I grabbed her as an adult from a store. She growed up. She was one of like Apple Mama's babies. So she's growed up. This one is Socks. I call her Socks because she's got white little feet. I also call her Patches because she's got a patch of white on her belly and a little patch on her nose. She is vicious and brutal. She is the mama hamster that when I had her babies, I touched one of her babies just a little bit too much. And when I put it back into the cage, she ripped her baby out of my hand. Literally, I was putting it back in and she pulled it out of my hand, sniffed it, smelled me, and then bit it and crushed its skull. One of its teeth went right into its eye, her teeth went right into its eye socket here. The other tooth crunched over here. She just killed it because she smelled me on it. She's vicious. None of my other hamsters have ever done that. In fact, Goldie, not only is she mellow, I mean, she lets me pick up her hamsters when she has babies, but she even had the hamsters from her litter. I needed an extra space because she didn't have any. And I gave one of her babies to Goldie. And Goldie, instead of going arr and attacking it, she just moved over, made a nipple ready for it, and adopted it right there. So she's very territorial. And she is I put her in with her because she used to be in with somebody else. And she was vicious and she would always bite the other hamster. So now I put her in with her. I've changed her name to Chew Toy. So this is Socks, and Socks is Chew Toy. They get along well. They sleep right next to each other, they cuddle. It's just that periodically Patches decides that it's time to try and kill her cage mate. Be right back with more hammers. Hammers? Hamatrons. Now this little girl is one of my extremely fluffy ones. She's puffy, but she's not long-haired puffy. In that all of her fur is the same length, but she's very, very puffy. She's very fluffy. Puffy. I don't really have a name for her. They're all slow. These ones, she's got a stubby little face there. She looks like a bear. She's my little bear. Be a bear. Look like a bear. Does she look like a bear? She looks like a bear to me. That's a bear. Grr, it's a bear. She's not a very scary bear, is she? Well, that's just one. I'm going to grab the other last easy to grab hamster and then start grabbing my other hamsters, at which point I'll have to get the table out. So I'm going to grab one more little Hamatron and then we'll bust up the stuff. Bust it out. Break it out. We'll break it out. Yeah, not bust anything. I'm not going to bust anything, especially not you, little guy. Okay, just a moment. She's puffy too and kind of looks like the last one that I had, but she is a different hamster. I keep her in a different cage. She's soft and puffy too. Very soft, very puffy. Oh. Yeah, see that big tore up spot on my hand there? It's the color, the lighting is wrong. Yeah, it's I was taking out the garbage this morning and my paralyzed hand, good job on me. I went to press down on the garbage lid. This thing doesn't have anything for strength. I went and pushed and immediately my hand just crumpled and went crumped and ripped up across the top of the garbage can. Good job. Anyway, this little Hamatron that's climbing around my back, this one, I don't think she is the hamster I call the floofer. And I call that hamster the floofer because she's almost the same size as this other hamster that I call Little Fluff. Little Fluff is tiny. She's only about like half an inch long and in size, but she's like this big puffy. And that's Little Fluff, and then there's the floofer, and oh, she's biting my ring. I didn't know that was tasty. How about that? Okie dokie, I'm gonna grab me some new Hamatrons. Smile! You're on bear camera. You bear? She's a bear. She's a bear. This is another female hamster. I have a ton of female hamsters. As you can see, she's one of the short hairs, not one of the long hairs like the last one I showed you. I have a ton of female hamsters because just like all nature, the male of the species is almost not needed. Because if you have 100 females and one male, you can rebuild a colony. But if you only have 100 males and one female, your colony's dead. Whether it's humans or animals or whatever. You need to have females to give birth. And so hamsters, when they have kids, most of them are female. Because, again, you can have, if you got 50 hamsters and you divide them up equally, 25 and 25 male, 25 female, you got too many males, not enough females. You need about 40 females, 10 males, because males are superfluous. Doesn't matter. When it comes to breeding, you don't need many men. You don't need many males. You just need one or two. and the rest is got to be females, because 10 guys, 1 gal, your colony's doomed. 10 gals, 1 guy, you're in good shape. Anyway, this is my one little female. I think this is Apple Mama, but I could be wrong. She's a good little Tron. I call them Hamatrons because my wife called them Hamatrons, and because I love my wife very much, I call them Hamatrons still, or Trons for short. This is my little Tron. I'm going to drop her into her cage. You notice I hold her like this so that she's got support of her belly and hopefully sometimes feet. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go grab me a whole bunch more. Be right back. Remember when I mentioned the name Little Fluff? This is Little Fluff. She's so tiny. She's small. I mean, she's just a little tiny body, little tiny head, and she's great big fluffy. Now, it's when you're dealing with animals instead of people, it's you have to use whatever landmarks you can. Because I have a lot of hamsters that look roughly the same, I can tell that this is Little Fluff by looking here. Little Fluff has a slightly protruding anus. And so if I want to know if that's exactly Little Fluff, I just check her backside and see if she has the slightly puffy anus. And if she does, then I know it's Little Fluff. Hi, Little Fluff. That's sometimes the only way you can tell, and they don't mind. I mean, hamsters and dogs and cats, they all sniff each other's backsides. So that's how I can tell that Little Fluff is Little Fluff, because I have another hamster, the Floofer, who's just about the same size, only a little bit bigger. Only real way to tell quickly is to check that anus. Life is life, isn't it? Here's a couple more. This little fellow, I don't think he's got a name, but you see how he's kind of licking my fingers there? That's because he has Little Fluff was in my hand. And Little Fluff there, because she's a female hamster, she was, her nether parts were occasionally brushing across my hand when she walked, which meant that this male hamster here was going, ho ho ho, what's this? I like it. I don't have a name for him. He's just one of the banded hamsters. But he's a good guy. Check out this ear. How chewed up his ear is. Come on, show me your ear. See that? That's pretty chewed up, isn't it? Gives him character. Okay, gonna grab me some more. Be right back. They like chewing on my ring. I wonder what it is about that ring. Huh. You silly little goose. These are 3 separate hamsters from 3 separate cages doing it individually. Oh, it's just that one down here is getting buried underneath the other hamster. I don't know what their names are. This is one of the original big hamsters. And this one looks like the Floofer. It's about that size and fluffy. And this one, I don't know what her name is either. It's just I've got, a bunch of hamsters that don't really have names, because I got so many hamsters that I don't identify them by name. I just identify them by who they are, what they look like. And which is okay, because really people are the only one that uses names. They don't care if they don't have a name. They're still who they are. Hamsters like to back up. I don't know why. And so she's going, help, help, because she was backing up. But now she's really going to fall. Oh, that poor sad little face. Please don't hurt my hand where it got the skin pulled off. Anyway, these are the 3 female hamsters. I'm going to go grab me some more. These are good little fellas. I like them all. Look, you're going to... There. There we go. These are 2 regular semi-golden hamsters, and then this fluffy style. I don't know what kind of hamster that is. There's not enough space for these poor little guys in my hand like this. they're just all freaking out because there's no room. There we go. Okie dokie, I'm going to go grab me a couple more. Be right back. Well, hello. I had to make sure that I had 2 females and 1 male for this part of the show and tell because of black male right here. These are 2 females. This is a male. This male I named after a character out of a Steve Martin movie, The Jerk. The character is Iron Balls McGinty. This character here, this little Hamatron, is Iron Balls McGinty. He's a good little male hamster, but he's also very... I got a hamster loose back there. There we are. Oops, you weren't supposed to do that. She got scared when I pulled her up. But he can be very territorial. I once had him inside of another cage, and I had a male hamster in my hand, and I was going to swap them. When I opened up the cage, he smelled the male hamster. He came swarming up the side of the cage, burst out the opening, came into my hand where the other hamster was, and started fighting. And so my finger, I ended up getting his spike lower teeth. Show him your teeth. Iron balls. See that? Got that nice tooth there. Underneath my fingernail, like a bamboo spike. It just went between fingernail and finger. You are so silly. And then this one's making a run for it down here. These are, like I said, both of the female banded hamsters, which are really, there's no difference. Hamsters are hamsters. I mean, there's Syrian hamsters, dwarf hamsters, and then there's another type of dwarf, I believe it is. Any other hamster, like they go like, oh, that's a black bear, or oh, these are blueberries, or these are bandits. No, they're just giving them names so that they can charge you more. There are no other specific breeds of hamsters. If they're banded, that's just because they happen to have the DNA for bands. If they're solid, like this one, there's just the DNA for that. It's all luck of the draw. They're not different breeds or different species. Come on, little guy. So I got these 3, and I'm almost done. So just a few more, and you'll have seen them all. Be just a moment. Come on, little guys. Now I have to be careful here with these 3 guys. These are 3 little males. I don't know what this little fella's name is, but he's a good little guy. He's nice. I like him. There's this little guy that kind of looks like the other little guy, except this guy, you can see he's got this line on his back. This guy, I made a video about when he was just a baby, he tore his back open all the way across. I thought for sure he was going to die. But he's okay. This little fella is Bobo. Bobo's got a nervous habit. When hamsters are nervous or scared or slightly irritated or such, they chitter their teeth. They rub their front teeth together. He does that so much. This does not hurt them to do that. But you see, he doesn't have any front teeth. Uh-oh. My 2 male hamsters down here are deciding that they don't want to be near each other. Well, actually they do, but they want to be too near. The one that's trying to kill it. But he doesn't have any front teeth on his top. He went and he chews them all away by chittering, by keeping his teeth rubbing together. So he's just got little tiny nubs that just come out of his jaw on the top. And then the rest of it, they're gone because he rubs them together all the time. Here, let's not have you attack. But these are my 3 big male hamsters. So be just a moment and I'll have the remaining few that I have left. This little fellow though must be a runt. He's the smallest, aside from the other 3 male hamsters that I showed you here. He is, but even among those, he is the smallest of all. But he doesn't have any of the other problems that a runt would have. He's got full growth on everything. He's just small. So I guess he's not really a runt. He's just a small hamster. But he's a good little guy. I like him a lot. And these are the last of the free ones. I just have 6 little girls left, and I will show you my 6 little girls because I keep them all in one cage right now because they're all sisters. I haven't been able to break them up, but whenever I do, they're all really unhappy, so I keep them together. Here, just one moment, and I'll be right back with them. I put the last of my little hammies into this bucket here. This is a transitional transport bucket because, come on, it's a bucket. That's not what you keep hamsters in. This is what you keep hamsters in if you're going to transport them or move them or, you know, take them out of their normal cage for any period of time. Like if you want to make a video introducing your hamsters, you put them into a transitional bucket so that you can bring them over to where you're working to make a video. Like I have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and here's number 6. These are the last of all my little hamsters. Oops, wrong direction there. Come on, we don't want you getting lost much. These are my 6 little girls. There used to be 10 little girls, but then they got some sort of horrible, hideous disease, and 3 of them just died. I mean, not recently, months ago. I don't know what did it. I woke up and they didn't. But I've still got 6 of them left. Whereas, unfortunately, I mean, I started off with 10, now I got 6. That's actually better because my little boys that I've got just those 4, 1, those ones, 2, I only have those 3 left of the 10 I used to have. This is 3, and let's see, 4. Yeah, these ones I don't have names for because they're actually going to be going, if not all of them, most of them, off to a pet store in town here. I breed hamsters and I sell them to the pet stores. It makes me sad to get rid of them, but these guys they're actually well past the point that they should be out and about. And my hamsters are unlike other people's hamsters. If you go to a hamster cage at a pet store or you try to pick up a hamster, they're going to make those horrible screeching sounds and try to get away from you. You go to most other people's houses, the hamsters are going to freak out. Do my hamsters freak out? Nope. In fact, my hamsters beg to be picked up. They like it. They insist. If I put my hand in here, I can come up with, whoopsie, well, this time they're eating, and so I'm interrupting them. But when they want out, I'll put my hand in. It's like fishing for hamsters. I can come up with like 3 or 4 of them just clean. It's pretty cool. Well, little girl, you say goodbye, and I will see you all on the flip side, because there's hamsters there. Come on, turn around. You never turn to, like, sniff the camera. Sniff the camera. There you go. Take care, and I'll see you on the flip side.